Hello
Hello.
again. Welcome back to the Swan Pricing Show. My name is Filip Fučić. I'm a pricing mentor.
And I'm Filip Zolota, business mentor.
So today we want to make another quick fire on the subject of, well, saying no, right? Because many troubles can be attributed to saying yes too fast, right? And whatever your expertise is, sooner or later you will be asked to do something that just feels off. And the practical problem is that saying no in that moment, when it's sales time, feels like slamming the brakes just when you started. Like it's uphill anyway, and now you're slamming the brakes, and so it's uncomfortable, and we don't like doing it. And then we get burned out by the result of our own actions. So, a bitter experience coming out of that snort. Exactly. Anyway, so this is going to be another one about boundaries, which are different when it comes to what in this show we talk about as the Swan case, or the selling of expertise, non-commoditized services, as opposed to the duck case, which is the usual commoditized services and products. Anyway, the main difference here, I think, is that boundaries are much more important when your result has much more to do about who your client is.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a very little difference to many commoditized services as to not just who is doing them, but who are they being done to. The result is not going to look that different.
Yeah.
So from trivial ones like ordering a beer, doesn't really matter who did it as long as they're not underage, to stuff like washing cars, or cleaning in general, or these delivery or stuff like that. Does which floor is it? Yeah, okay. One fourth floor delivery is very much like the other. It's just about physics. It's not about details. So here, when it comes to expertise, it matters very much. So one design work is not going to look like another design work, even though it's designed by the same designer, or forbid, like programming or consulting.
Yeah.
Right? So what we wanted to talk about today is the soft boundaries that you can place up front in your, let's say, terms of service, or in your website, doesn't really matter, so that you don't have to defend your values in the middle of the sale or after the sale, because it doesn't come to so people who you don't really want to work with figure this out before they waste your time and theirs.
Yeah.
So, for example, it's very useful to determine who don't you serve. So something like no unfunded startups, right? Or who is this for you? Who don't you serve?
People who are not being teachable in terms of business owners. Know-it-all type of individuals. It's a strict no-go. And people who don't have respect. Not necessarily for me as their mentor or partner, but for other people. That is very significant red flag, which is one of attributes I am definitely taking into consideration, and it is a very important one because it gives pretty much good picture what you can expect with the individual on the run. So that is one example.
Very good. So the second one would be, what standard practice do you avoid? So I think for both of us is like hourly billing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
so what standard practice do you simply avoid? So if you really insist on doing it the standard way, just don't talk to me, and we will both be better off. And this can turn out counterintuitive because, and we talked about this, it seems like
Yeah.
the broader the audience, the better. And it's not in the same way that if I try to sell you on a pill that solves all of the medical problems in the world, you're not going to buy it, right? And if you need a specific remedy for a specific malady, it
Yeah.
sells much better, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, then what process is not for you? So, give me your example first. Go.
One which I definitely love, and I also have a dedicated prescription for that, helping others to implement. No RFP management, no pitching policy, zero by all means, impossible. So people who are actually interested in any kind of collaboration, we are never giving prescription before the exam, paid consultancy or workshop. That is the founding stone for the future. Plus, managing the expectations, aligning everything, resources. So those are fundamentals and the prerequisites so we can start with doing anything. Other way around, it's a strict no-go.
Yeah. So similar to that is who sets the scope, right? Because we usually say the client is always right when it comes to what needs to be achieved. You know what's coming next, and he's basically always wrong when he thinks he can say how that is going to be achieved. Right? No, absolutely.
In the end, if that individual or business or company, whatever, could be doing that on their own while they ask you to help them,
Exactly.
why? Just because they have a significant amount of unnecessary cash or similar? I don't know. Probably that. Probably that.
Now, I mean, I've seen cases like this, and in cases like this, clients say, "I know what needs to be done. You just," and we talked many times about what the heavy weight of a word "just" is. You just need to do it, right? And no, you want to go straight, but it's a minefield. Stop right now, or drive on without me. I'm not following you there, right? If you think that's a threat, so if you insist on that, then good luck to you, right? And Godspeed.
Just one
Please.
thing. There are so many, probably people who like playing Assassin's Creed and the big leap of faith. So there are so many business owners because that is something what they need to comment. A bunch of business owners are there in terms of some level of success simply due to the luck.
Yep.
And they think that the same patterns can be replicated, repeated, and similar, and every time they'll be having the same type and level of success. No, this was a statistical error, mistake. Don't do it that way. Primarily do the planning and then do the afterwards what is required. So
I've seen people metaphorically drive right off a cliff because of this.
exactly.
This is
Exactly.
businesses like I was right once. Yeah, as you know, as they say here in Croatia, even a blind chicken gets a kernel sooner or later, right? Anyway, so what's your discount policy? We talked about this, right? You don't volunteer discounts.
Very strict one.
There's
Very strict one.
a
Very
very
strict
short one, right?
Very extremely short.
Finally, and probably my favorite. What do you refuse to feel guilty about?
Oh,
So my for my sake, it's no rush options available, right?
yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, but can we do a strategy in 2 hours? No, no, we cannot. We can do
Yeah.
something, which is putting a band-aid on it, and maybe it will stop hurting that much. That's not the same thing as surgery, right? It's simply not. It's never going to be, can you do surgery in 5 minutes? No. And anybody who tells you that they can is a hack, right? So, no katana surgeries here. right? How about you?
Better luck next time.
What what do, what do you
Yeah,
feel guilty about?
absolutely very similar to yours. No rush. Urgency doesn't exist in my space. I know because you know my background. By
Yeah.
vocation, I am a system engineer. So you have a good picture how it looked for me at the time being. Always available. So it's a no-go, and urgency in most cases is a product of lack of something. Somebody made some mistake, forget to do something, and similar. So you don't need to accept that transfer of accountability and BS somebody trying to put on your shoulder. That is one thing, and also transparency. I like to, in conversations, especially in the pre-sales, in the entering any kind of engagement, I am pushing those who are not necessarily ready to be transparent to become transparent. Because for me, it is a no-go. If if they need my help and support, I need to have clear picture. Other way around, we are trying doing something, wasting time. They're paying us for something, but we don't know where are we aiming at and what we are actually doing. So that is definitely one of the no-goes and the component and policy around which I'm very strict in business.
The important thing to emphasize at the end is that these things, these policies, let's say, don't really add friction.
Yeah.
So the thing that I described at the beginning, so you know, slamming the brakes when you're going uphill, is about adding friction, and it feels wrong because it mostly is wrong to introduce this at this point. It's a completely different thing if you publish it on your website or you publish it somewhere and then somebody doesn't read it, and then you say, oh dude, you're in the wrong street here, right? It said so on the tin, you didn't read it. Well, let me show you. That's not a problem. But that's not adding friction. That's them being an idiot. So, you know, it was clearly posted, you just didn't read it. Okay, let me educate you on this.
Yeah.
But so these things, they are gates, they are filters, but they're not friction. They if somebody sees any of these policies of yours or of mine as a red flag, he's in the wrong place. This is nobody's fault. Let's just drink the coffee and go away. Right? Let's talk about cars for 10 minutes and then to each his own, right? So it's not adding friction to any kind of worthwhile conversation. And it's a really good way to have more worthwhile conversations.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just want to give my personal experience in that respect of a realm. With having strict boundaries and gatekeepers in place, the beautiful thing actually happens is that people by default appreciate that. And I heard so many times from my colleagues, friends, and partners in the business, oh, Filip, I didn't even wanted to call you because I know this and that. It's clear because they know the policy, they know the rules, they respect it, and they also want to be helpful and supportive whatever they're trying to bring on the table, because they also know that the same way I am enforcing their policies, especially if I want to maybe create some introduction or maybe open up some business opportunities so they can actually engage, practically pre-vetting the scenario with written policies and verbal ones, which definitely need to be shared with the audience, with potential client or prospect in very early stage of conversation, like you said.
Yes. The cost of having soft boundaries is having to defend them later, right? You let it all pass. You just look at the sign, and then you're in trouble. And then you're in trouble, right? And I've ended up angry at myself for rushing into things so many times that I think this was a needed episode about the early no's, right? Is there something else that you wanted to say on this?
No, I think I had something on my mind, but I think we can leave that for another episode. Yeah, because it is a topic on its own. So yeah, I
Cool.
think we pretty much covered it well.
Then I'll write it down in the post show. Filip, where can people find you?
People can find me on LinkedIn and also on my mentorship page, philipzolota.com.
For me, it's LinkedIn as well, and it's fearless-pricing.com. Thanks for being us with us today. See you next time.
See you.